Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Halloween nail art design. Today we're going to tackle a witch theme. We've got some bats, some glitter and some spiderweb going on. We've got a couple of gel polishes today. We've got a Shaka, Executive Flame, almost read that wrong, and we have another two gel polishes there, more of the purple family, color. So we've got Glorious and also Eternal Bliss. So those are all going to be our four colours. We do also have some glitter. So the glitter today, I went for like a purple holographic. We have mainly a purple theme, so I kind of wanted to include a purple glitter. And then we also have a stamping plate. So today we are using the Halloween collection plate number 17 from Moe London, and it's literally like a witch themed plate and it has some cute little accents in there as well. So without further ado, we'll get right into the background shades. So the first one, we've got that gorgeous darkish pinkish shade. We then have three nails that are going to be Shaka. And then the very, very, very last nail is going to be the light purple, I guess, and the more cool tone bluish purple. So you want the lighter purple at the top and then the other purple at the bottom. But we'll get to that in just a second, about now. So the lighter shade is going at the top and you kind of want to do it about halfway. And you want to try and make that line as straight as you can. As you can see, I'm not being too fussy here because we will be stamping over it. So hopefully it will cover your line anyways. But I'm trying to be as careful and as neat as I can just in case there are any areas that are going to come through. And that's it. We're not blending. We're not ombraying. We're keeping it just like that. And then off camera real quick, I'll do another coat and then we can crack on with the nail art design. So on our one Shaka nail, we're going to do a French tip. Now on this one, we're going to do an ombre French tip. So I'm going to start off with using that dark pink. And we're going to outline the smile line. And then once I perfect that and I'm happy with how it's looking, then it's basically downhill from there and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you want to do the pink about halfway down the tip. And then you want to pick which other colour you want to ombre the two together basically with to create your ombre. So obviously I have a pick of two. We've got the dark bluey shade and we have the purpler one, and if I remember correctly, I've gone for that bluish one. I did, yes. So here that one goes, and you kind of also want to place that pink quite well. It would depend how low your smile line is, but you want a fair distance because you want to obviously have enough space to ombre the colours together with your ombre brush. You need enough space to do that. So I am luckily off camera right now trying to grab my brush and clean it. And then in a second I'll be back on camera to actually brush through and create that ombre. So you're going to see that in a second. I'm really sorry. I should have cut this out. I didn't even realise that this is in here. I usually try and cut out these little bits. There we go. So here's my ombre brush from Madam Glam. And I'm starting where these two colours meet and I'm slowly making my way down. Obviously the footage is sped up so it looks like I'm doing it really, really fast. But I'm not. I'm taking my time and I'm kind of just gradually moving my brush down and like as I'm happy with the blend basically. So the next stage, we're going to do some squiggly lines, and that's going to be on the remainder of the two Shaka nails. The one, I kind of wanted to do like a swirly look across the whole nail, and then the other nail is going to have a squiggle across, well, two squiggles across it basically. So I'm just kind of attempting two different, I don't know, visions, I guess. That first nail, I quite wasn't happy with that squiggle, and I kind of wish I went back and I tried to fix it instead of, by fix I mean wipe it and just retry, because I just kept trying to already fix a broken line and it just kind of wasn't fixing itself. But here's the other nail with those two lines, and you basically just want to keep repeating that until you use all three colours. So you just want to repeat the colours above the initial one you created and so on. So now we're doing the, I'm going to call it more bluey. It's kind of giving more blue now the longer I look at it. And obviously the same on this one. That will then go into Lamp for a Cure. And again, we'll come back on camera and I will do it with the lightest purple shade. And that nail will be done. Wherever it's needed a second coat, I do go in, of course, remember, off camera. I always do second coats off camera if it's required. So I do it where it's needed, but because these squiggly lines, I don't know, it always feels whenever I do these lines it doesn't need a second coat, and we are also going to do some glitter and stamping on those nails, so it just sometimes feels like an unnecessary job when you're going to cover up, not all of it, but quite a lot of it anyway, so to the point where it's like not noticeable anymore and it's not really the main focus of that nail. And then when that becomes the case, you can kind of get away with, you know, cutting a bit of a corner and not have to worry too much or waste your time too much on, you know, getting it super opaque or anything like that. So we're going to finish up that purple now, pop in Glam for a Cure. We're going to then crack on with the stamping. We've got literally every single nail with some stamping, so I really sped up that footage and I'll walk you through step by step what we're doing. So we're going to start off with the witch herself. So there's a couple to pick from on the plate, of course, and I have so much use out of this plate. It's so cute. Whether you want to do a witch look or not, it's got some really nice options on there, for today I wanted to use that witch that's on her broom flying away into the sunset. So I am basically picking that up with some black, and then I've got, well, when I was doing my prototype I wasn't too sure what colour to colour her in. Initially I did white, but it was way too harsh with the colours that we're using today, so I tried to play about with other colours and just kind of figure it out. And out of all my options that I had, this colour was basically the one that ended up looking the best. So it's just this shimmery, cool toned purple from Born Pretty. And it just did the best job. It just wasn't, it still wasn't perfect, but it was the best that I was able to figure out at the time. So that's what we're doing. So we're basically keeping quite strict on the black as the outline, and then whenever I needed to colour anything in, we're going with that purple. So the witch got stamped on those two colours on that one nail. Then the next nail was going to be the ombre nail on the French tip, and on that one I really like the spider web with the heart in the centre. So I've picked that up and I coloured in the heart with the purple because I thought that would be quite cutesy. And then we are applying the spider pattern, I guess, only on the French tip part. So obviously if there's any areas that you went over, just grab yourself a lint-free wipe and some acetone and just wipe that away, and that will be fine. This is just a regular stamping polish. It doesn't need to be in the lamp, so you can just definitely wipe away and get rid of anything you don't need. Now this is the bit that I actually quite like the way it ended up looking, but it takes quite a lot of time. So if you have more stampers, or I guess stampers, the better, because you can just pick it up a bit. You end up being a bit more efficient basically. So we're going to keep picking up those bats and the stars, and you just want to stamp it on those squiggly lines wherever you feel right. So on that first nail I only did 2 bats and a couple of those stars around, and then on the second nail I actually stamped 3 bats, and again it kind of feels like I did a bit more of those stars around the bats as well. But on the stamping plate itself, I only have 2 bats on there and 2 sets of stars, so even if I had more stampers on me at the time of filming, I could only really pick up 2 bats at a time before having to wipe again. So bear that in mind. But the more stampers you have, it is very beneficial, I have to admit. If you really enjoy stamping, I think it's so like a really good investment basically to get yourself more stampers, and you just find yourself being a bit more efficient, when you get into stamping, I just feel like you end up spending a lot of your time wiping, re-picking up. God forbid, obviously, you pick it up and it just doesn't pick up correctly and you have to redo it again. Oh, just a nightmare. So if there's anything you can do to help yourself, I really recommend doing it. So here is that nail now with all those stars and everything. I almost forgot about this nail, so we're back to do it. But that pink nail is going to have a full cover image stamped down, and I really like those moon and star pattern. That's going to be a full cover image, so we're going to have to restamp twice because my nail is too long and the image is too short. So we're going to do it again. Luckily, Moulin are pretty good at just kind of creating images that you can easily connect after stamping, which is really good. And I probably just knocked the camera over my head. But that is the final part of the stamping now. So we've got a little fragment of the glitter. The glitter itself, pretty easy really. I just wanted a little bit of bling, especially as we're not really doing any crystals. We're only doing 1 charm later and that's it, nothing else. So you all know me, I do like a bit of bling, and usually comes by crystals. So if it's not crystals, the next best thing is always glitter, even if it is matte top coated, and holographic glitter always looks so beautiful matte top coated as well, so it's a win-win here. So I am basically placing down chunks of this glitter around the bats on both of those nails, and then around my witch that I've stamped down. So I'm kind of focusing the glitter more on the top and bottom part of that nail. I am trying to pick up some of that fine glitter. Ideally I probably should have just sprinkled a bit on piece of paper or a container, because it was really a nightmare to pick it up straight from the pot. I was just trying to be a bit more clean that way, but I just wasn't quite able to control what kind of glitter I'm picking up, so that was a bit of a nightmare, and I probably will not be doing that again, because it didn't quite create exactly how I wanted it to look, but it kind of is there, but it would have been better if I had full control. So after we're happy with that, we've cured that in place. I don't know if I mentioned, but I used base coat to pop the glitter in there and then cure. And now at this stage, we're just going to matte top coat. I am using the Vanillisa matte top coat. After that comes out of the lamp, and it's all nice and matte, like I mentioned before, it's going to be a very quick little fragment of us applying a bow charm, funny enough. I've got these black ones and I haven't used them for a long time, and obviously Halloween's the best time to try them out. So we're going to place it on the French tip nail, on the smile line there, and I'm using the Macart Roundstone glue gel to do that. Down will go the bow. I'm going to straighten it up, make sure it's as straight as I think I possibly can get it. Pop that into the lamp for a cure, and here are the final results. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!